Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Usayome Sally, and today I'm joined by my amazing co-anchors. I have Isia Fodele and Uti Elu. Hi, ladies. Hello. All right, so today is a very special day to me and to all the amazing co-anchors who have ever sat on these seats for the past 2 years. Our amazing guests for honoring us all the time when we call them, and especially you at home, our viewers always watching. So please join us to celebrate as What Are You Saying? Ways turns to today. Yay! Oh, ladies. So I had to go and dig up the pictures of the very first episodes. For some strange reason, Uti was here, AK was here, but they were behind the scenes.
Yes.
You were on set with me. I think I had...
Sanzi,
I had Sanzi, I had Lami.
Olamide.
Yes, then Maji Aida was our very first guest.
Yes.
And what's her name? A very good friend.
She's
a nurse.
A nurse as well.
Was
Remy,
yes, he was our very first guest.
Yes.
Then my friend that she's a nurse, what's it called?
I think it's
Bond
Remy.
nurse. Eh?
Remy?
No, her name is not Remy. Bond nurse.
Was she Nigerian?
Yes,
she's a Nigerian.
Then there was, because it's World AIDS Day.
I remember we had a lady, so that's the lady that I'm thinking about, that lady who's
so
living with HIV.
I was just reminiscing on, I said, wow, 2 years just that.
How time flies.
Flies quick, goes by real quick.
So much impact in 2 years, and don't forget that we only started the daily run just last
this year.
We started with a weekend time belt, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I remember how I just did not have a life anymore because you do Monday to Friday work.
We all didn't have a life.
We didn't have a life. We didn't have a life. We can't go for parties. I remember if I go to party like that, I'll be checking the time. I'll be running from party straight to the set, so it wasn't funny doing the weekend belt. But we thank God. When the new MD came, we were able to switch to a weekday run, and it's been an amazing journey. So, ladies, let me hear your thoughts. How has it been for you?
It's been interesting. Everybody I think on this planet that has ever seen me or met me knows that I like to talk. So this seat is perfect for the likes of me. But I think one of the things that was really important for me was to contribute something. And I think that at the time when I found this platform, it was just at that point in time when I was just telling myself, Uti, you've been back for so long, you've sort of wandered away from, one of the key reasons why you wanted to be here. And I was doing radio at the time, but it wasn't, full time. So it just came at the right time, really. And I think it just happened by chance because it was a chance conversation with NASA, and she said, I think it'll be good. And I thought, okay, all right, let's come in, let's see. And I remember having lots of feedback on the first day. I remember my first day actually. I was trying to find that episode. We talked about brain drain. And I came on set and I just felt like I'd been here forever. So it's been a wonderful 2 years. A lot of interesting and amazing conversations, impactful conversations.
Absolutely.
Met some amazing guests, some amazing people, and for me, built some fantastic relationship with the ladies. So win-win all around.
Wow. Thank you.
For me,
Easy for the let me find that word. Oh, sugar, why is that word escaping my brain? Oh, Lord.
Psychosocial psychobabble.
How are you? How's it been so far? You started from day one.
Yes, since inception.
But I took them to the other platform.
Yes, absolutely. It has been interesting. I have to say that it has been a lot of learning curves for me, and in the course of it, I actually thought I knew so much about people and about conversations until I, stepped on this platform and I got to know that there is so much you still need to know. And I had to start learning and relearning and unlearning a lot of things. And I think that was the crucial point for me, having to relearn how to interact again on a platform where I don't have to be too emotional about things, especially. and you know you have to say some of the things you need to say from a stand-off point of view, so that it won't seem like you're taking sides. So I think I have learned a lot on this platform, and it's an exceptional platform to have a wonderful, impactful conversation.
Absolutely. So today we're talking empowerment. You know, we're talking about women. We're talking about building a support structure. You know, so it's so interesting that it just ties up to our 2-year anniversary, because every single woman on this platform, whether past, present, you know, or the future wants to come, they are amazing. You never know how amazing people are until you actually come close to them and now realize that we have so many brilliant people, especially women. You know, you just need to give them a mic, like Uti, and they will now explore all they have on their inside. And the one thing that's continues to amaze me is the fact that a lot of people had zero engagement with television before they came on Ways, and today they are doing phenomenally well. So it's something that I am super happy for. I'm proud of every single woman on the team, and I want to use the opportunity to say thank you for supporting the Ways brand.
Thank you.
All right, so if you talk, we're talking empowerment today. We've taken a lot of time, and here's what we found as today's quote. It's very short and simple. Empowered women empower women. It's as simple as that. And this is from an unknown source. So, as was said earlier, data from the National Bureau of Statistics indicate that as of 2013, Nigeria's population was at 174 million, out of which women constitute more than 50% of the population. Now, according to economic experts, about 30% of the registered entrepreneurial businesses in Nigeria are owned by women. So, Eno Essien, our very own, is here to discuss building strong, supportive business communities for women. But first, we'll have to go on a break to see what we found in the news. You're still watching Ways. Now, each year on December 1st, the world commemorates World AIDS Day. People around the world unite to show support for people living with HIV and to remember those who have died from AIDS-related illnesses. Each World AIDS Day focuses on a specific theme, and this year will be End Inequalities, End AIDS and Pandemics. Now, this year's theme joins a growing list of challenges that World AIDS Day has alerted people to globally. Founded in 1988, World AIDS Day was the first ever international day for global health. Every year, United Nations agencies, government, and civil society join together to campaign around specific themes related to HIV. World AIDS Day remains as relevant today as it always has been, reminding people and government that HIV has not gone away. There is still a critical need for increased funding for the AIDS response, also to increase awareness of the impact of HIV on people's lives and to end the stigma and discrimination and to improve the quality of life of people living with HIV. So that's a mouthful. Happy World AIDS Day.
Well,
you know how they say koro, koro, koro? People forget that there are other illnesses that are still very much here. But there was something I saw. I don't know how I cannot find that video. That they actually found a cure for AIDS. Did you ever come across that?
No.
No, I think the one for cancer was the one I actually came across.
Yeah, no, never come across. A lot of claims in terms of, and more on the herbal side, and those kind of stories that you hear.
It was herbal.
I've never heard of it.
I saw it somewhere. For some strange reason that day, I did not. I didn't save that video.
So I think in terms of things like prophylaxis and, prophylaxis for possible exposure, and better meds these days to manage, the condition. For me, I think it's one of those things that maybe if there was more focus on it, right, we would have found a cure. Because I think we've built up, most people these days live with HIV. If you could remember in the 80s when it first started, when they didn't even have a name for it, and then had a name for it, and people were afraid to shake hands. I mean, very much reminiscent of what we had in 2020.
You see boils.
Yeah, what we had in 2020 and the impact of it on culture. So I mean, it was a huge thing, and as soon as we sort of found a way to live with it, you know, and
we just moved on.
We've sort of moved on. So now it's become more a disease of more the illiterate people who are uneducated. It seems like in those places where information is not and awareness is not being created, you're still seeing that it is spreading.
You know why part of the theme, because I was listening over the radio, part of the why the theme is, I think it's something around inequalities, is because the girl child, they say statistics are showing that girls have higher chances, they are at risk more of infection. Yeah.
My story is actually tied to that.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
So maybe let's just take your story.
My story is actually tied to that, and it says 3 in 5 new HIV infections are girls without access to education, and this was spoken by WHO, that's World Health Organization, and we like you stated earlier that the slogan for today. The theme for today's World Health Day is, or this year's World Health Day is, AIDS Day, is End Inequalities, End AIDS, and End Pandemic. And this was spoken by the WHO Regional Director for Africa, Dr. Mashidiso Moeti, who harped on the fact that there's a lot of disparity between individuals who are living with HIV and those who are not, because people do not tend to give cognizance to them. There is a story that actually resonated with me when I read that piece, and that is of a woman who had a man interested in her, but because of the fact that she disclosed her status to him, he stated that he wasn't interested in the relationship anymore. And this was a man who was really after her, wooing her, that he wanted to be with her. So there is this inequality that comes with people who are living with HIV. But I think the awareness is higher now compared to before. But however, like you stated, the uneducated do not have access to this information that will enable them, supersede what is currently obtainable.
There's a lot of lack of information, because when you were just talking about that, I met a HIV activist actually. She came and gave a talk at one of my previous roles, and it was funny, she was pregnant and she was talking to us the entire time about HIV, and then she waits right till the end to say, actually, I am positive. And she talked about her husband, talked about having already one child already, and she was literally maybe like 7 months pregnant. And all of us were like, whoa. And then the concept of viral load and, how, so it was just very interesting. So I guess also being able to educate yourself and keep these things at the fore of your minds. I know Nigerians, we typically don't like to come.
You hit the nail on the head when you talked about the fact because we're able to live with it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why people are not even really interested, because people actually live very healthy lives. I mean, we've had so many people that we've interviewed that say, "Oh, I'm living." The image that we had then, you have to look sickly, you have to look, have all those movies
showing you full blown AIDS.
At the time, these
that was the information
they
also had.
That was the information they had, and then there was nothing that could actually curtail the spread of it at the time.
Now there are drugs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So very quickly, my headline says court voids banishment of ex-Kano Emir Sanusi. So of course, in Abuja, a federal high court has yesterday stated that the Kano state government had no power under any law to ban the ex-Kano Emir Lamido Sanusi from further visiting the city or confining him to a particular part of the country without his consent. So Justice Awuni Chikwere in the judgment has said that because the emir has not committed any crimes, I know the Kano state government accused him of disloyalty and insubordination, but that's not a crime. So the reality of it is you're not able to confine someone or restrict a Nigerian citizens movement within the country for any other reason or for that kind of reason. So apparently this suit was filed by the former emir in March of last year, so it's taken over 12 months.
No need to calculate.
Our legal system, and some may even say this is quick.
Yeah, this is quick, actually.
Yeah, so respondents in the case, of course, Kano State government, the police, the state SSS. So you remember back when it happened, all the stories in the news of him being evicted from the palace, moved to, I think it was Abuja first, and somewhere in Nasarawa State before he ended up in Awe in Nasarawa State. So This case basically says, look, everything that happened at that point in time was unlawful, and he's
acquitted.
yeah, exactly. So the case has been thrown out.
Awesome.
So we wish him all the best. I'm not sure that if what happened to him happened to me, I'd ever want to go back to Kano, but I guess home is home.
Why Nigerian army intervened during NSAS protest? Lagos State government. Why are they still talking? So, this is according to the Punch. It says the Lagos State government has said that soldiers intervened during the NSAS protest in the state in October 2020 to assist civil authorities restore law and order in the state. The Babajide Sanwo-Olu government stated this in its white paper on the report of the Lagos State Judicial Panel of inquiry on restitution for victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters which probed the NSAS protest in the state late last year. When I saw this, I just said, they should just not say anything again. Because when you say restore law and order in the state, right, it means there was chaos. Lekki Tollgate had no chaos. Lekki Tollgate, they were busy drinking, eating, chopping chicken and just dancing.
And dancing.
So maybe, okay, you know what? I'll just leave it there. A lot of people have talked about this today. I just really don't want to stress my head. But I think the government really needs to just stop talking. They should they need to stop, because I think with everything that comes out of their mouth, it just agitates more and more, what's it called, back and forth, counter attack and everything. So let them just stop talking.
Don't you think it was intentional?
To keep talking?
To keep talking. Just create more.
I think it's a thing about wanting to be heard, right? So in as much as we no, of course it's intentional.
Absolutely.
I mean, they constituted a panel. Again, sometimes I like to sort of try to play devil's advocate. They constituted a panel.
Absolutely.
They did that. They got a report that didn't particularly paint them in a good light. They did that. So do I expect them not to then try to rebut that in some way? It would almost then be like putting your hands up and saying, we did this, and they're not going to do that. So like I said, let's leave it at that.
Let them just keep talking. We'll see you guys after the break. We want to discuss women's support.
It for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on PlusTvAfrica.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Businesses in Africa can be very challenging. in Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating. And successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on PlusTvAfrica.
Thanks for staying with us. It's a fact that women face systemic social and financial challenges while starting a business. We hear that women are the rising tribe of entrepreneurs, that they own 36% of all businesses, that the golden age for women entrepreneurship has begun. Yet we come across facts like this. Women get 33 million less capital than men for their ventures, that 43% of them leave the workforce after having children and struggle to get back, no matter how smart or productive they are after they become parents. That a growing number of women are returning to work as mompreneurs, undoubtedly because many of them do not find the flexibility they need to work in a corporate setting while raising a young family. So, I mean, there's so much buzz around women, and there's so much attention to women when it comes to businesses. Why is that so? Do women really need this support structure that they talk about? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So, Utsi and Isi, let me come to you guys. You know, because every time we talk about this thing, I hear a lot of men arguing and saying that, so I just want to hear your opinion quickly before I bring in Eno. I hear a lot of men complaining and saying that, oh no, you people, there's always everything, woman, you know. Like, is it that we are not deserving, or maybe it's too much? We're not deserving of that attention that is being given to women, or it's just too much? I don't know. I don't understand. Shouldn't women be actually giving that attention to, the support?
You want to put me on the spot.
Take it first.
Because what I want
you
to say is...
You take it first, because
the men should all be coming down. Simple. For the longest time, women have been marginalized. For the longest time, women haven't had a voice. We deal with glass ceilings. We deal with all the, what's the word now? I don't want to call them encumbrances, but we deal with everything in life, from family of the woman and the impacts that women have. And now that acknowledgement that says, look, if you can empower women, then you can get so much more done, even as companies and employees, as entrepreneurs. I mean, women, we can juggle so many things at the same time. I stake my chest on it. We can handle the pressure that men can't handle. So really, it's just our time. And we're not even close to arriving yet. I think that's the thing for me. We're still fighting with glass ceilings in certain places. There's still so many things.
When you train a woman or you train a girl child, you train a village. In this case, when you empower during the lockdown, they did a lot better than
licensed by the Nigerian Communications Commission as an outstanding indigene in 2020. And she's also, you talked about collaboration and you talked about women supporting women and all of that. So I see these things a lot and I hear it a lot. And again, it seems like globally, the woman is, we're the in thing, we're the eye candy, we're everything, we're attracting everything. But really, first of all,
usually like the monetary aspect of it. Oh, I don't have support. It's like I don't have money. You know, when you're looking for money in business, you don't have money. The people say, oh, I lack the support. But support is much more than that. I mean, monetary support is part of it, but it's much more than that. It's being able to cheer you, having somebody who can cheer you, you know, who can fan your flames to keep going, you know, somebody who cares about your business, someone who can tell you the truth about your business, what you're going through, somebody who basically is in your corner. That's support. That's what support is in business.
But I don't understand why women need support. Do you hear when they say men supporting men? Because, you know, I'm trying to be realistic here, because all the time it seems like we are needy. What is it?
Like, people feel like, oh, I don't have support, I need somebody in my corner. Personally, I believe in being your biggest cheerleader. You know, being able to toot your own horn, being able to praise yourself, being able to gas yourself all through. I'm a firm believer in that, and I practice that. You know, so I feel like rather than sit down and wait for somebody to cheer you on, keep going, cheer yourself on. And you know, people are watching. People are watching. And people even find it easier to support people who are doing very well than the person who's struggling in the corner.
Okay.
I know, I was just going to jump in there when you said, you know, be your own biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
I just want to maybe refer to how women were raised. So all these women who are yourself, myself, at this point, we're all millennials, we grew up probably in the 80s. We were not necessarily raised in that way. So do you think that that's had an impact? Because when we say now that be your own cheerleader, some people may not be comfortable. And a lot of women, we've talked about it on the show, struggle to talk about their achievements, their accomplishments. You know, a man is 50% there and he's talking like, I got this. And the woman is at 99.9. She's like, I'm not ready yet. Just hold on. So how is it actually easy to be your own cheerleader? Is how you were raised, does it impact that? Because I mean, I'm my own cheerleader, but I know that's not the case for a lot of people.
Yes, how you were raised absolutely has everything to do with it. You know, there are people being your big, I think what a couple of women lack is being bold, because you find that you're intelligent, you're doing very well, but there weren't things that my brother did, that my sisters and I, we did everything. Is it to wash the car? Is it to go to, I mean, I remember during our holidays, we used to have lessons. We used to learn a trade during every long holiday. There were times that we'd go to baking lessons. We also did mechanic lessons. My parents took us to a mechanic garage, nothing posh, a proper mechanic garage, you know. So there were things that I think that affected or that helped in my own perspective. Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to look at it from the perspective of women assisting and supporting women. Okay, so what's your take on this? Because we have seen situations whereby a woman who has a business idea walks into an office, and the person who is supposed to give her that credit is a woman. But because, the woman feels, oh, I'm envious, I don't want to do this, and decides to say,
going there?
Yes, I will go there, and decides to say, okay, I can help you. Do you think that is out of envy, or do you think they just don't want to support other women to grow in business?
These are things that I hear but don't have any real life experience. You know, I've never met anyone who has actually gone through these things. I hear them, so I can't really say. But for me, being in business in a male-dominated field, I mean, we support who we want to support. Let me put it that way. You support who you want to, because if I know you personally, you're doing something, I probably will be there cheering you on. And if I don't know you, I just may be minding my business. I feel like we support each other, maybe not as much, but I try to surround myself with supportive women, with strong women. I say that a lot. I have a lot of strong women in my corner. The energy, I try to go to what I attract the kind of energy I want, you know. So if I notice that the energy around a particular woman isn't what I need, I just take myself out of it.
You and Milola, you'll be best friends. Milola is the queen of energy. She's one of our core anchors. But I was going to come to that system, because, you know, when they say when we want to create a support system, right? What should a good support system look like in terms of, because now we're trying to build small communities, pockets of communities. And I see a lot of women communities doing a lot, you know. But is that enough? Or should we start to think a little bit more creative with building that system, that ecosystem, where a woman, for instance, that has a business idea, maybe she's a diamond in the rough, she doesn't really have the confidence yet, she doesn't. So what would that system look like, that ecosystem? If you say you want to create a support system for that woman, what should it look like?
Practical terms, buying from another woman is providing her with support. This is the time of social media. Just posting about what another person does is support. You know, the thing about what you said is they seem like things on theory. I'm very practical. Even in business. I say that I went to business school, but by the time I started to try to implement some of the things in business school, it did not follow. You know, so I'm very practical about it. How do we support women? Purchasing from another woman is providing support. Even introduction, I believe the introduction is like one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, you know. Introducing somebody to another person, mentioning your name, speaking for you. 2 days ago, I was at the airport and I met somebody who was with another person that I know. I didn't see the person I know. I just met this person who's in the National Assembly, and I just walked up to him to say hello to him. And this other person, practical aspect of it is...
What would you say is the biggest challenge that you've had to face as a woman in the business space?
I won't say that I've had challenges in business, but I won't say any of the challenges is gender based. No, I won't say any of the challenges is gender based. Just business challenges, the economy, the policies, things like that, but not gender challenges.
You know, Eno is boss lady. She does not believe me.
Yeah, I don't believe in all those.
Yes. And I like the practicality of what you just broke down. But you know what? Let's go on a very short break. We'll be right back. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat with ALD.S on building strong or supportive business communities for women. Now, do you think women have enough support in the business community? If so, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You know, oh, you want to come in? Oh, go ahead. This is your soul. When you start with soul like this. Go ahead.
When I heard what the topic was for today, there was one thing in particular that I wanted to talk about. So we see a proliferation today, particularly, not even just on social media, but I guess that's the most popular platform, of these communities that are developing women, supporting women. One of the biggest ones would be WIMBIZ. And these communities, for me, I've heard lots of different stories from different women who have been part of those communities, some good, some bad. And I think that my viewpoint is always the smaller the better, and maybe sometimes these big ones have become victims of their size. But I'd like to very much hear your thoughts on those kinds of communities and whether you think that they actually can provide, so when you think of support in your head, whether they can provide is there a right type of support? Okay, the right type of support for entrepreneurs. I'd just love to hear your thoughts about that.
Okay, you mentioned WIMBIZ and I smiled. So the first time I went for a WIMBIZ conference, I was, I think I was probably 26 or so. It was my early years in business. I didn't like the conference. I just thought I was misplaced. Like there were so many strong, powerful women, and everyone just going on and on about things they had done. You know, I left there totally
depressed.
Yes, I didn't. You know, and I never went for any of their conferences. Then I met one of their trustees. I think that was in 2018. And we got talking. It was also on TV, you know, and we got talking, and I gave the same impression about, you know, and she says, she tried to talk me out of it. So anyway, she says, come for the next conference. So I went for the one, I think that was in 2019, the year I met her, you know, and I absolutely enjoyed the conference. Now, maybe the reason is the 26-year-old Eno, you know, and the 30-something-year-old Eno, two different people. My experience in business, I went hungry, I went stronger, I went bolder, I was more confident, I was more powerful, I knew what I wanted, and I went to receive, and I really received. In fact, I was surprised, really, really surprised. So it depends on the mindset with which we go for some of these events. Are you going there to receive, or are you going there to be bamboozled? The last conference I went for in Eloy, a majority of the women who came to speak to me, it was all about funds. Oh, nobody is giving me money, nobody is supporting me. Are you coming for that conference so that you will meet somebody who will give you money? You know, so the mindset is a whole lot.
So can you just now talk me through the 26-year-old mindset and the 39-year-old? Because where I'm trying to come from is the fact that I see communities like that should be able to support every type of woman. So the 25, I'm clueless, I just started a business, for you. I walk in, I feel supported. I come in, I think I want funds, and I see that, oh, it's so much more than funds. So I just want to understand, because I've had this feedback. I mean, I've literally popped in and out of a conference, and I wasn't going there from the mindset of an entrepreneur to learn. So I don't feel like my opinion really counts. But it'd be great to hear, because you've actually spoken to that issue that I find, and it's those communities I think could be so helpful, but I don't know that they've hit the spot yet.
The 26-year-old, maybe then I thought I was bold, but that was more like a timid person who went into a place where there are a lot of powerful women in there. Yes. Yeah. You know, I went into that place and I just got lost in the crowd. But I think I was 30, probably 35 or so at the last time I went for the conference. I was stronger, I was more confident, I was bolder. If I met women, there are women we all admire. Yes. So if I met or I saw a woman who is one of the women I admire, I walked up to her, said to her, said what I wanted, had discussions, exchanged cards. You know, people want bold people. It's beyond being fine, it's beyond being intelligent. You also need to be able to be bold and go forward. I was saying to my laundryman this morning, he had called me yesterday and he's like, I want to talk to you. Then he now goes, and I didn't have that person. So I'm like, what do you want to say? Then he hangs up and he sends me the message that he's not, what did he say? That he doesn't know how to put it. Something like that. So I read the message and I just put my phone down. When he came in this morning, I said, see, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. What do you want? I'm happy now. That's why I'm asking you, what do you want? That's what I said to him. So if you want something, you need to be able to go all out and get it. Nothing is going to come to you. So when you go for events like that, you should go, you don't just go for the event because it's a raining event. You have your goals, you know why you're going there, and you go there and you make sure that you cross out every single reason you came. Did you come there to meet women? Go and mingle with these women. Did you come there to network? Did you come there for bill? Whatever it is, don't just follow the crowd and just go there. You have a goal and then
let me jump back to what I think Isi was trying to talk about. And I find that there's a big struggle when it comes to collaboration, right? Especially within women. I know this is what you do. You are in the automobile business and all of that. And probably maybe I have a connection to be able to bring in whatever. Why can I not just go to you and say, no, you know what, this is the business I have. You handle the technical part, I bring the business, and we share the profit. Every time we see businesses collaboration, and it's not a woman thing. This is not a woman problem. But I see it more, I see the what's it called? The disruptions or whatever it is more amongst women that come together to, yes.
Absolutely.
That come together to collaborate. Why are we having difficulties? Just saying that, what, this is not my area of expertise, but I know someone and I'll collaborate and do the business. Why is it difficult as women?
I don't know how to answer that, but that was one of the points I raised at the Eloy conference. If you know somebody who's doing something, you can't do it. Don't go all in, I can do this thing. Involve the person who you know knows how to do it. There's nothing wrong in collaboration. I think maybe people feel like they may be cheated or may be thrown out, but I feel like if you're going into things like that, everything should be documented. You should get it clear from the get-go.
Okay. Absolutely,
so
right?
I'm going to look at it from another perspective again, and that is, you talked about women being bold. However, the society assumes or looks at it as being aggressive and not assertive, or more like the woman is more assertive, but the society looks at it as being aggressive. So what's your take on this?
I think I get called aggressive a lot, and that's fine. That's fine, as long as I'm getting what it is that I want. The society will box you in so many corners, make you think you shouldn't, make you feel you shouldn't think a certain way, you shouldn't want certain things. You need to just get out of the box.
So
Let me follow that with a comment because I think it's so relevant here. It says, greetings ladies. Congratulations on your 2nd year anniversary. Wishing you all more impact. This our sister Eno. Already looks strong. Almost a bulldozer. Little wonder she's also able to drive results. Her disposition is really encouraging, and that's from Benson. So thank you, Benson.
Yeah. You know, so I was going to say that I like the confidence. I mean, every time I'm looking at it and I say, oh God, where can I, God, when? You know, you just exude so much power as a woman, and I know it's always going to be a problem for what's it called, people around, because they don't understand when a woman is assertive. You know, but you know, how has this impacted your business? Because now I've been in different places where they say that women are afraid to ask for the big money.
Yes.
So you are in a place where maybe you're talking to people and there's an opportunity for you to be able to make millions of dollars and you're asking for $10,000. Do you understand? And this is what they see all the time. I mean, the woman that was giving us the talk in that meeting that I was in, she was heartbroken. That every single time a woman stands in front of investors, they are just afraid to talk about the big numbers. But you see a man that has no clue, like what did you say? You are 99% as a woman, you're still saying I'm not there yet. A man has no clue.
50%.
But you see his mouth is strong. So how do we get more women to get to that level of confidence, you know, and start to push for the big numbers? Because if we start to have more women pushing for bigger businesses, we are tired. Yes, we are the ones that occupy the entrepreneurial figures in terms of percentages. But how many of us are really in business? We're just doing petty trading. You see, you can get me, right?
I do. And I'm reminded of an event I went for many years ago, and Terra Culture, what's her name?
Oh, Bolanle Osteopathy.
Yes. You know, she was saying, she gave a presentation and she was saying, some of you go to the banks and ask for little monies, 1 million naira, 2 million naira, that's too small. And I sat down there and I'm like, what's wrong with this woman? You know, but not today is looking back and she's like, Mrs. Austin Peters, you're absolutely correct. You know, you just have to be bold. I feel like there are successful women. There are so many successful women. Why can't we emulate them? Why don't we? Some of the women I follow, because they are successful, I love their stories. I want to be like them, if not better than them. And I follow on, I read, you know, about them and I follow. So I think that's a good way to help people who are coming behind and who are timid. You know, just look at how this person has done this thing and try to emulate.
But we don't share, Eno. We say we want to support women, right? We say we want to support women. If tomorrow now I say I want to start a car repair business and I want to go and meet Eno, please mentor me and all of that. We find it difficult that women are, you know, I mean, there are some places where they just literally give you a blueprint to say, you know what, follow this blueprint, you'll be successful. But we find it difficult in this climb. We are always hoarding information. We don't want to pass the information around. Is it that we are afraid of, I don't know what.
It's not a gender thing, though.
It's not a gender thing. No, it's not a gender thing. I'm not saying it's a gender. I'm just saying, sure, we are talking about women. Let's just focus on our gender. You know, but we don't share in this part of the world. We don't share information. We're always hoarding information. It's always difficult for you to be able to get probably good direction and mentorship from people, you know, in terms of, okay, I am new in this thing, but I want to go in this path. Where are the people to support me?
Wow, that's a tough one. Still on the points I raised at Eloy Conference. We just have to try to be as open. I can only speak for myself, and I know that there are a few other women like that. I'm pretty much open in the way I run my business, in the way that, in my business life, at how things have worked in my favor and how things have gone against me. I'm pretty very much open about the way I'm running my race. And I know that there are a few other women like that. I don't know why people don't share. I don't know, but maybe they feel someone is going to come and steal an idea or something. I don't know, but I just feel like the sky is so big enough for everyone to shine individually. In my line of business, I have a great relationship with the men in my industry. We speak. Like, there's no day I don't speak with another CEO in the vehicle tracking. We share things. We have challenges. And maybe because I'm female, I'm like the go-to. What do you think about? How can I do this? Why do this? I'm pretty much very open about how I've run my race. There are women that are open. I can't speak for the ones that aren't open, but there's nothing wrong. I feel like when you share your journey, people can easily identify. It helps people because they've seen the problems you've gone through, and it helps them, it guides them. So running your journey, being open about it, I believe that it helps people.
Absolutely.
Okay, my comment is supporting the woman generally in any business is the same as supporting the entire universe. Well said. Women need to be encouraged strongly because they have energy that can't be quantified whatsoever. The government has a role to play in the cause of building up the women. Certainly, certainly not discriminating the woman. God bless you all. This is from Bobby Kennedy from Jalingo, Taraba State.
Can you speak to government? When government matter, everybody will swallow saliva.
I don't think it has to do with the government per se. I don't think it has to do with the government per se. What about the role of the society, aside from the government, in supporting
No, she has to answer government first, too. You see.
I'm not a government official. What did you say again?
So what about the societal role in supporting women?
Well, everybody has their individual roles to play. Yeah. I think that a lot of times we're seated expecting so much, not trying to build in. Sometimes we're waiting for the government to do things. There are things that we can do ourselves. You know, that change begins with me. There are things we can do ourselves. So I feel like everybody has a role to play.
So I think that most times we've touched on quite a few key issues when it comes to women, but I always often like to think from the perspective of the viewers that are watching, and if I was in a room with the CEO of Raytrack today and I was looking for a community to get into, one of the things that I know people have spoken to me, struggled with, is how to find mentors. Not necessarily that I don't know the person. Like you said, be bold, walk up to the person. But how do you mentorship is a give and take type of situation. How do you start that conversation? How do you get someone to want to be your mentor? How do you find a mentor? Because I know a lot of women struggle with that beyond the introductory conversation.
There's social media that makes everything a little easy. Send the person a DM, a direct message. Or I see people write on the wall, please ma, check your DM. You know, you just approach the person and hopefully one day.
You know that, no, she said, I really would like to get more people to start to think like you, because I don't think for someone like you, you do not see impossibility in your dictionary. You just see that this thing can be done and it will be done. But not many people have that confidence. Not many people have that courage to be able to do so many things that you've done. Confidence. They don't. Trust me. If you put 100 women in a room, 98% of them, or 98 of them out of that 100, they don't have that confidence. And that is our biggest issue. We are always afraid to bite the big chunk of that cake.
Sometimes you need to ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? Because fear is such a limiting factor. There are many things that so many of us would have done, but because we're afraid to fail, or we're afraid to get a no, or we're just different reasons why we're afraid. If you want something, at the early stages in business, I remember going to do a presentation to a man who owned a haulage company, and he said to me I was too young, he couldn't speak with me, and that was the end of the meeting. So I went home and I told my mom, I'm trying to get into this place, they have quite a number of trucks, blah blah blah, but he says I'm too young, can you come with me for the meeting? And she went with me for the meeting. No, she went alone for the meeting, she went alone for the meeting, spoke on my behalf, not as my mom, but as my
business partner.
Business partner, exactly. So when there are challenges, I think we need to sometimes just step back and try to come up with solutions. Business is tough. It is very tough. Every day, I probably don't look like what I go. Every day there's something you're dealing with. If somebody is not sending you some bill, it is another policy coming to seal your office or one thing. There are different challenges. Every day there are different challenges that I go through, and I'm sure every other person in business. But we just seek ways to be able to break these things into little boxes and try to move on. Because if you sit down, nothing is going to get done.
Okay. So if they say you're too young, just go and bring your money. I'll come and carry Uti. Uti will do a good presentation for you. Oh, wow.
Again, let's, focus. You're such a powerhouse. I'm sure some people that are watching are even like, ew, which day, Lord, will I get here?
God when?
No, God when, right? But it's good for us to see examples of people like you, of how far strength can take you.
Absolutely.
But for the young lady, let me speak to the working women now, who are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Should I side hustle? Shouldn't I side hustle? What is the, it's not a perfect spot, but what is the point at which you think, do you take that hop into being an entrepreneur and saying, because here sometimes it feels like it's a taboo to have a job. Everybody should be their own boss and, don't work for too long and open your own business. Is there a sweet spot for that sort of person who is in the employment space and wants to cross over into the entrepreneurial space?
I'm not the right person to answer that question. And the reason is prior to running my business, I had never worked. So you know how you work in a company and after maybe 10 years you resign to set up your own business. I never had any work experience. My work experience would probably be IT in the university. So I don't know, I won't be able to answer that question. I don't know when you feel that way. I always wanted to be in business right from when I was in the university. So there were different things that I wanted to do. I was buying, I was selling, but I was doing one thing or the other until I had an experience. It was an experience that led me into this. I was robbed and my friend's vehicle was stolen. And I thought, how do you spend so much money buying a car? And just like that, somebody takes your car away from you. So it was that experience that made me think. And then I'm asking questions, I'm Googling, I'm researching, I'm sending mails to people in India, people in different countries, and this is 24, 25-year-old, I just wanted to do something. I'd always wanted to do something. So when the opportunity came, I just jumped at it. It was an experience. So I turned my bad experience into
a good
into something like this. Yeah. So that's as far as I can.
And so if you had to say something to a startup, for example, and you have a young lady who is going into a business for the first time without knowing the rudiments, what will be the nuggets you will give to her to be able to, get that business going?
Remember why you started. There must have been a reason why you went into the business that you're going. There will be challenges. It may be daily, it may be monthly, but there will always be challenges. So irrespective of those challenges, you need to keep going. Remember why you started and just keep going. And for every milestone you hit, if you make your first sales, you need to clap for yourself. If you make your 100 sales, you need to clap for yourself. So no matter how small the milestones are, I do that a lot. I used to keep tabs of the things that I was doing. So no matter how small the milestone is, always clap for yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Keep cheering yourself on. You're your biggest cheerleader. Keep cheering yourself. Keep going. Some people are fortunate. You may have people who support you. I had family. I had my immediate family always with me, So even if you're alone, just keep going, keep cheering yourself, keep clapping for yourself. Remember why you started and just don't ever give up.
Yeah, so I just want to ask a final question. How do you stay relevant in business? For your business, a lot has changed, a lot has evolved from the time when you started the business to now. There's so much technology, innovations that have happened over the years. So how are you staying relevant in business?
I'm reading up. The devices we use now in cars is not what we used even 5 years ago. The clientele base, now we have a lot of motorcycles. We put trackers in motorcycles. We put our trackers in tricycles, that's the keke.
Wow.
We put our trackers in boats. We put not just cars. So you're coming up with things. You're just being innovative about things. 5 years ago, we're not thinking motorcycle, but I think it was about 2-3 years ago, they became that boom in that industry. You need to read. You need to find out what the people ahead of you are doing and try to keep try to be relevant.
So you are a reader. All right, women have strong willpower to run business than men, but the society seems to look down on them. Let the women remain focused in life. Rafael Akori from Zaria. Thank you so much. But on that note, I think we've run out of time. Oh, but we've had a fantastic conversation. I hope you had fun with us. We'll not track you while
having to jog, and this is me having that time. to run my, well, even before having my own, when women in Raytrack have kids, I'm very open to bring your baby to work or bring your child to work. It's very fine. You know, so I'm now imagining people who
do not have that opportunity.
Yes, so I struggled with that.
Wow. Thank you so much, Edna. Thank you, Isi. Thank you, Uti. We had a fantastic conversation. So before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further. And most importantly, we have started a giveaway. Say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand and following the conversation. Do well to follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. So our quote is very short and simple. Women, empowered women, empower women. Simple and short. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
The disbursement of the Davido 250 million naira orphanage support fund has commenced. Only government-approved orphanages qualify to register via the link on your screen. Registration opens at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, the 29th of November, 2021. Registration closes at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of December, 2021. For more information, please contact davido.orphanagedonations@gmail.com. This is supported by PlusTvAfrica. Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on PlusTvAfrica, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408. Or send an email to marketing@PlusTvAfrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.